All right, I didn't assign lab 1 last time, so let me go ahead and do that. Lab 00, by the way, is not going to be graded in the grade book. It's not going to go towards your final grade, but I highly recommend you complete it so you get used to how the entire environment works. Many people who don't complete Lab 00 usually have a very tough time completing the rest of the labs. So I highly recommend you get 00 turned in, and you should have an auto grader coming back explaining what's going on. So the purpose of this lab is to practice using Java's math and string libraries. We talked about that beforehand. So if you need to review, look at the previous slides. Also, Chapter 1 of Core Java for the Impatient goes over that, so you do have this in your textbook. So it has 3 parts. First part is create a distance class that contains a function called distance, takes 4 doubles, and returns the distance between the 2 points. Definitely look inside of distance.pdf to see what this formula is supposed to be. I've had a lot of students get this confused because they will, let's see what we got. It's x1, y1, x2, y2. Make sure that is your function heading. I've seen some students trying to do x1, x2, y1, y2. If you do that, it's probably not going to work. So make sure your function heading is correct, and you can review this PDF to see what it's supposed to be. In fact, you can just copy it right here and paste it in your code. Or even, if you want to, let's see, copy it right here. There's the full heading. Make it easy, copy it from the PDF, move on. All right. You can go ahead and look up the distance formula on Google if you've forgotten how it works. So part 2, this is going to be the one time we're going to use a main with system.in. Have we talked about the scanner class and how to get info? Well,
we just did.
You have. Okay, but we did do it.
We did just like 2 days ago.
2 days ago? Okay, great. So use the scanner class, good morning, to get information from standard.in, and I want you to print off the distance to 3 decimal places. I think we didn't do that, did we? How did that? Don't think so. I didn't think we did. All right. Let me jump over on how we do decimal formatting. Go over here, new, Java class, format fun. Okay, yes. So public static void main string args. And if we want to format something, we have to actually create a format class. And I believe it's called decimal format. I'm just going to call it df. This new decimal format. And we'll do 1 to 3 actually we'll do it to 5 decimal places. Obviously, IntelliJ is giving me an error because it doesn't know what decimal format is. So we do Alt-Enter. I'll tell it to import the class, and then knows it jumped up here, java.text.decimal format, and it gave me what I wanted. Okay. So just to show you, if I were to go system.out.println math.py, semicolon, if I were to run this, let's see, run, it'd print out pi to probably 14 or 15 decimal places. I think it's the default. Yeah, there we go. But if I wanted to format it with the above format, I would do system.out.println df.format, and now I would send it math.py, and then it will take that number, this one right here, send it through the format which I've specified up here, and then print it out. So now it does some number dot 5 more decimal places. So those pounds up there are specifying exactly the exact positions that must exist. I did it fairly quickly. How many decimal places is this one to?
5.
5. All right. Over here, I ask you to do it to 3 decimal places. Hopefully you can figure out how that's done. If not, go ahead and talk to me and I'll help you out. Again, make sure you print out distance to 3 decimal places and nothing else. All right, part 3. This one's going to be a little more complicated because you're going to have to start using a loop. Loops in Java work the same way as in C++. So just go ahead and type them up like you would in C++. It's going to work the same exact way. But here I want you to create a largest substring class that contains a function largest substring which returns the largest lexicographical substring of a given length. So before we go into what that means exactly, it's usually best to at least look at the function heading. And let's see. I thought I saw it. Here it is. There we are. All right, takes a string and a length. Finds the largest substring with the given length. So str is the length. str is the string to search, and len is the size of the substring. Okay, and what do I mean by largest lexicographical substring? Basically, here's the string. It could be any symbols of characters. I'm just going to stick with lowercase letters. 3 means I'm going to evaluate every substring of length 3. So, welcome to Java. What's the first substring of length 3? Where's my eraser? Yeah, WEL. Okay. Let's go jump this on the board. All right. So where are we? Okay. All right. Possible substrings of 3. And make sure that's nice and clear. Good. All right, so the first one is WEL. What's the next one? WEL. The next one would start at E. E, LC. The next one's LCO. Let's see, COM. OME. MET, ... All right, if you were to look through that whole string, what would be the largest one? AKA, if you created a dictionary with all those substrings of length 3, what would be the last one listed?
WEL.
WEL. There we go. So just to change this up a bit, if I were to replace this C with the Z, it'd be WEL, EL, Z, L, ZO, ZOM, etc., etc. And now which one would be the last one?
COM.
ZOM.
So what happens when you get to like the end? Is AVA the last one?
Yes, because VA it has a length of 2. So it needs to have a length of 3. Okay. Let's see some other examples. Hopefully that's straightforward. ZA, was it ZXA, AZX? You have to really look at these. Comma 3, it's just ZXA. And then of length 4, I think I came out with ZXAZ. Yes. Because it's obviously going to have to start with Z. You have ZXAA, ZXAZ, and then ZXAB, and of those 3, ZXAZ would come last. Okay. You will, quick hint, you're going to want to look up the string class and how it works with equals. So let's go at Java string class platform. What do we have? We have. Okay, here we go. Compare two. Compares two strings lexicographically. Perfect. The comparison is based on Unicode value, etc., etc. Returns 0 if this equal, a value less than 0 if the string is lexicographically less, and a value greater than 0 if the string is lexicographically greater. So that's how you compare strings, is with this compare to function. Additionally, you have a string, you got to figure out how to chop it up. I know what it's called. It's called substring. Or I'll zoom up to the top. And that one, where are we? QRS, substring, begin index, end index. So it will literally chop up a string. So if you have hamburger, substring 4, 8. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it started that U and then go up to 8. So it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it wouldn't take the last one. So then it would just be erg E. 1, 5, 0, 1. So start at the M. 2, 3, 4, and then not the fifth one. You're going to have to come up with a way to. Those are the two functions I recommend you use. And let me double check the lab real quick. Contains a function which returns a large substring given length. Great. Okay. In the case that the length passed in is greater than the string's length, or the string is null, return null. You are allowed to return null whenever a function returns an object. So remember that. The length is greater than the string's length, or the string is null, return null. I will be testing for those two cases. How do you get the string's length? Anyone know off the top of your head?
Isn't it just like string.length?
Yeah, so you have another function. Wow, excuse me. Another function, whew, dot length, returns the length of the string, gives you an int. So now that's how you can get the length. How do you check if the string is null?
If there's a string at all,
Right. How do you check?
make sure the length is greater than 0.
So if you pass in, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. I'm just going to call it largest substring. And you have string str, comma 8, or sorry, int length would be correct. Int len. And then you do str dot length. And I'll just do dot 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 dot. But if you call it LSS passing in null, and we'll just say the value 8, what's going to happen? Okay.
An error?
An error. What error is it going to be?
Null error, right?
A null error. Because if you try and call dot length on null, that doesn't make any sense. Null is empty, it's void. So you need to first check if str is equal to null. Because if it's equal to null, then you just want to return null. Okay? All right. Okay, how are we doing? So that was part 3. Any questions on those 3 parts? Yes.
How do I get them on my computer?
How do you get what?
How do I get them on my computer, like the lab one?
You'll need to pull from upstream.
It doesn't.
You right-click, get extension, pull. Make sure you select upstream.
I'm going to the command there it is.
Oh, then just git pull upstream master.
Yeah, I've done that.
And have you set up, and you may not have upstream set up correctly. You'll have to get with me after class.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Okay. Should be due a week from today. Use IntelliJ or Git extensions, however you need to go ahead and push it up. I have not set up the auto grader yet. I'll remind me to do that right after class, and I'll get that up.
On the project, how many, is it just one submission in the auto grader?
Oh, with the auto grader, you're allowed to submit as many times as you want. I'm not going to grade your code until after January 26, 2359. So if you submit once or 100, I don't care. All right, any other questions? Good question. All right.